Before we talk about this week at home, we'll talk about the recap of last Friday and Sunday. You guys win against Dominguez 2-1, but then you go to you go to overtime and a tough loss to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was definitely another difficult weekend. You know, Cal State LA and Dominguez Hills are two of the top teams in our conference right now, and coming out of the weekend, winning one game. Certainly is something we would have taken before the weekend started, but based on the way we played this weekend, I think we're feeling like it's a couple of points that we lost.
So going out of it, you get a win, you fall in overtime. Are you satisfied with the way you guys played and the fact that it seemed like the outcome? I'm sure you'd like to get both wins, but the way you guys played, can you correct those mistakes and kind of move forward?
Definitely. I think the mistakes that we made on Sunday are things that we feel like we can fix. Obviously, we would have rather fixed them before that game, but we take a lot of confidence from this weekend's performance. I mean, to play the way we did against two of the top teams in our conference is definitely a confidence builder for us. To step on the field with them and feel like we can compete, and not just compete, but feel like we should win, certainly bodes well for the future for us.
You got San Francisco State coming up this week. You guys are tied in the conference both with 2 wins apiece. So what have you seen from the Gators on tape so far?
Well, we played them early in the season, and we tied them. It was a game that we were winning most of the game, and then gave up a late goal to tie. It's another game that we felt like we could have pushed over the line and find a way to get all 3 points in that game. But I think after this past weekend, the way we played in these last 2 games, I think the guys are going to feel like this weekend is an opportunity for us to get some wins under our belt and then move up the conference rankings a little bit.
Facing San Francisco for the second time this season, does anybody, you guys are home, but does anybody have an advantage?
Well, we'd like to think that we do have an advantage playing at home. Playing on our surface in front of our fans and not having to travel is always a benefit. But as I've said numerous times, the competition is so difficult in our conference that you take a breath and think it's going to be easy, and you're down by 3 or 4 goals before you know what hit you. And San Francisco is a very good team, just like everybody else in our conference, and the same with Monterey Bay. We saw that the first time we played them. If you're not sharp, if you're not on top of your game, you have the opportunity of losing badly to anybody we play against.
I don't know who made the schedule, but how important are these 2 home contests, knowing that you guys are going to go back on the road for 5 more?
Well, given the way the conference is shaping up right now, all of the games for us against our North Division opponents are huge for us. It's not just 3 points for us to win those games, but it's 3 points they don't get as well. So those are all very important matches for us. I mean, we finished the first go around with the North Division, with the exception of Sonoma State. So every game against the North Division is extra important moving forward.
How big an advantage is it for not only you guys, but each team to score first and take pressure off? But how important is it to kind of strike first?
I think it just depends on where your team is psychologically. Obviously, scoring first is a boost to your confidence, and it really gives you the initiative in the game. But when you're fighting to develop some confidence and you're fighting to establish some consistency, again, it carries a lot more weight. And I think one of the things that we've been doing a lot better in the recent games is getting on the board early and establishing our dominance in the game and establishing how we want to play. And you can see that in the way we're playing and the confidence the guys have every time we step on the field right now. So it's definitely been a benefit to us as well.
All right, Coach, you had a great overtime game last Sunday against Cal State LA, although unfortunately came up just short. But you did have a lot more chances, I noticed, than they did. So what were kind of the mistakes you made on Sunday, and then what are you going to do to improve and make sure that you can secure that win when you get more chances than the other team does next time?
Obviously we want to take our chances. We're creating plenty of chances going forward, and we want to score more goals. But the biggest frustration, I think, from Sunday was the goals that we gave up and the way we gave them up. I think those are goals that we would expect to deal with. I think if we're a little bit sharper, a little bit more focused, a little more disciplined, I don't think those are goals that we're going to be giving up on a regular basis. And it's frustrating to score the way we scored against a team like Cal State LA is at the top of our conference right now, and then to end up giving up a couple of soft goals that cost us a game when it could have been such a huge weekend for us to get 6 points against Dominguez and Cal State LA.